The beginning of the day was off to a memorable start. It was the first time that Janice called the Maguads, her parents, Maguad, Mr. and Mrs. Maguad, mom and dad. That's a huge day for any adoptive parent. I imagine Mr. Maguad, Cruz, went to work just smiling. So while he's at work, his coworker opens the door and is like, "Don't freak out, Mr. Maguad, but your house has been ransacked. You need to go home now." I think it took him about 15 minutes to get into his car, drive all the way home. He realizes that at the front of the front door is a blood-soaked blanket and a knife. So he runs around the house to the back door and he's still screaming his kids' names. So as quietly as possible, he starts tiptoeing through the kitchen. And the minute he steps into the living room, his entire life ended in that moment. The entire living room was painted red with blood, and in the middle were the bodies of 2 of his 3 children. They had been murdered. Whoever did this was clearly sick and deranged. Now, one of his children did manage to survive, but they were incredibly distraught, obviously. They had been hiding under the bed when the attack took place and they heard everything. In what was supposed to be one of the best days of Cruz Maguad's life, it was now like a living nightmare. It starts with 4 Maguads. The 2 Maguad parents, Cruz and Lavella, and their now teenage kids, Gwen and Louie. One day, Gwen and Louie, they're both teenagers, they come home. They're like, "Mom, Dad, we gotta talk to you about something." They're telling their parents why they need a 5th member of the family, why they need to adopt Gwen's best friend, Janice. She's an orphan. She's been bouncing around from house to house. She is working as a live-in nanny right now, and she's never gonna have a future like this. And the few points that they keep coming back to as adults are, Gwen's friend Janice was just a kid. She deserves a fighting chance at life. They had seen her around, and yeah, she looked miserable. Also in the Philippines, just like everywhere else in the world, when a young woman doesn't have the proper resources or support system, there's a very real risk that they might end up on the street. And once that happens, it's very likely that she could potentially be forced into work or worse. The Maguad parents decide, maybe we can take the burden off of Janice. So the Maguads are very religious. They thought, you know what, maybe the Lord has blessed us with enough to provide for our family and a little bit more, because maybe we were meant to provide for Janice.